Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How are we doing today? Thank you guys for stopping by today's stream. There was no video today as I just got back from my bachelor party yesterday. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I just slept the whole day. I probably slept maybe 2 to 3 hours a day. And it was very fun, but I didn't sleep very much, so now I'm here. I feel a lot better, and I'm ready to rock. There will be a video tomorrow as well. Bear down to the Bear fans, and then obviously we got a Packers fan here as well. What's up, Brian? How are we doing, my man? What's up, Carter? How you doing? And we're not doing a 10-man. There's going to be a 12-man underdog draft, but we will be doing other live drafts, not on underdog. So if you guys want to have a chance to draft with me, I will be doing drafts probably on sleeper live drafts on here to where we can all draft together that are non-paid draft. This draft we're going to be doing today is going to be a paid draft. Only bear down. We'll have you. That's pretty funny. I like Caleb Williams, though. I think a lot of people are going to point at him doing that. It's kind of like that guy that just got drafted to the 76ers, and they're just going to talk about how that guy's a bit fruity. And then if he ends up being not playing the best in his rookie year, that's what's going to end up happening. But it was funny to make fun of that guy at Duke as well. So how's everyone doing? We're going to go ahead and join the draft shortly. I appreciate everyone stopping by as I didn't make it obvious that I was streaming, as I didn't even know I was going to stream until a couple of minutes ago. So let me go ahead and share the screen here. My camera's going to get a little bit darker. Niners don't need Ayuk. That's a fact, dude. They should just get rid of him, right? They don't need him, so let's just get rid of him, right? Go Fins. What time is the draft? We're going to be joining probably in about a minute or two. So I'm going to share my screen here so that we can go ahead and see it. Bang. Bang, bang. Yeah, I mean, the thing about that Dark Side Dev is it's basically going to be repetitive content until we actually start hearing stuff from training camps, which is starting at the end of July, and there's really nothing I can do about that, right? My opinion on players isn't going to magically shift with no other information occurring, right? I don't know the only way my opinion can change on things is if magically I have an epiphany on a certain player, or if there's camp news that would change my opinion. And right now, there's just nothing coming out at all. So that's why some of the stuff might seem a little bit more repetitive. I try to talk about a bunch of different players, but again, it's hard to do in my opinion in July. What time's the draft? I think we're gonna join this in about 2 minutes. Um, I love Jordan Love, man. I love you too. I love you too. I think it's possible that that Ayuk signs back with the 49ers. I don't think he's gonna be gone, to be completely honest with you. What's your ideal draft pick position this year? Honestly, off the top of my head, I don't have a position that I just love the most. I think, to be honest, it's probably pick 3 because for sure I know for sure that I'm getting either McCaffrey, Lamb, or Tyreek Hill. I think more than likely it's between Lamb and Tyreek Hill at 3 because it seems like McCaffrey goes 1 every single time. So that's kind of my opinion. I like 3 the most. And then I like picking at the end. The second round this year is incredibly suspect, in my opinion. There's a lot of players that could end up being complete and utter busts. And I'm not even talking about like slight failures. I'm talking there are guys that are going in the second round that might be straight up landmines that blow up your team's legs, and you stand zero chance. So that's just kind of how I feel. I think the second round's pretty suspect. So I think getting the earlier second round picks, like on Underdog here, just looking at the rankings, like the early second round, Drake London, Harrison, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon's going at the end of the second round. I mean, Underdog is very, very wide receiver heavy. So I guess it's a little bit different. But we're gonna go ahead and get into the draft here. If you guys want to join up with me, you can use promo code Notorious or click on the link in the video description. Your first deposit can be matched up to $250, and you also get an additional special pick on there if you are in a state that is legal for the Pick'em game. So again, promo code Notorious for that if you guys want to sign up. If not, it's okay with me as well. Yeah, you're right. You could talk about drafting as well, but right now, to me, the drafts are going to change so much. Like, I'm gonna make the ideal draft strategy video. I'm gonna make a super flex draft strategy video. I'm gonna make running back 0 strategy video, double hero running back. I'm gonna be making a bunch of strategy videos, but again, they are a little bit more suspect right now compared to what they would be, I would say, in August. Are you convinced the way to go in the first round is hey wide receiver? Are you against the grain and go running back? I don't think that any strategy is necessarily the best or the worst. Right now, a lot of the time I find myself taking a wide receiver in the first round, but that's just because the wide receivers are going so heavily early on. And I feel very confident in the third, the fourth, the fifth round on the running backs that I can get. But again, do I think if you take, say, just any running back in the first round, like, I don't think that's really that bad of a pick. So I want to join the draft in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, this is an Underdog Fantasy Draft Best Ball Mania. First place over $1 million, $1.5 million that is to first place. So pretty big payday here if we could end up winning. And then just close your eyes and draft in the second round. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's basically what you have to do at this point. Just close your eyes and pray to the football gods above that your pick hits. So it's going to be interesting this year again because while fantasy football is while we're just in July right now, things are going to shift heavily. Obviously, like right now, like I've been saying, all of the running backs have been going so late. It's entirely possible that in August, when you're doing your actual fantasy football draft, that the running backs start going way higher. Like, that's just how things go. And Spock is correct here. We still have 3 spots left in the free Notorious Fan League. Draft is August 31st, 6 p.m. Pacific. There is a trophy. So make sure you guys join this league right here, linked in the chat. You can draft with me. You can draft with Spock. We are doing a fantasy league. So if anyone wants to play with me in a fantasy league, a real league, and while there's no technical money on the line, I will be getting a trophy. So whoever wins will receive the trophy. And I think Spock mentioned that if this league fills, there'll be other ones potentially. I don't remember if that is true or not, but I don't know if I'll be in all of them because, frankly, I play in 6,000 fantasy leagues, and it makes it. And I don't want to be that guy that is in your fantasy league playing with you and then doesn't edit the lineup or messes something up, right? Like forgets to do waivers or something. I don't actually do that, but if I'm in 5,000 leagues, there's a chance that would happen. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Factual, factual. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button like it owes you some money. So this draft is going to take some time to fill, but that's okay. We're going to leave this draft with we're going to win $1.5 million, just so you guys know. It's going to be live on here. Now, these drafts, again, are so much different than what your at-home league is going to be, but I do genuinely believe this is one of the best ways to prepare because you are going to be seeing players on here. All right, that makes sense, Spock. Thank you. And yeah, so the biggest thing on here is that there is going to be players that are going off here and say like the fourth, the fifth round that in your at home league you might not have to take until like the seventh or the eighth round. These leagues typically are these underdog drafts typically very hesitant to draft quarterbacks early. Like in your at home league, you might see someone that drafts a quarterback in the first or second round. No one's going to do that in these. It's going to be very by the book. There's not a lot of people reaching, doing crazy things, which makes sense, obviously. But in your at home league, anything can go. Happy to see you in there, Kyle. But yeah, these are probably should be a fun league. I agree. Should be fun. Obviously, I will be in the draft. If I am home 100% available, I will live stream the draft as well. Um, I assume I'll be home, but again, you never know. Or I might be busy doing the draft, but I always lock in for the drafts, regardless on if I'm busy or not. I love doing the drafts on the computer, though. I don't know if any of you guys do your fantasy league drafts on your phone, and I am young, right? I'm 25 years old. I feel so stupid trying to draft on the phone. Like I can't see anything correctly, and I will just miss a player that I want because I'm on my phone. And then a lot of my friends, we do our at-home league draft at my house. And even though it's an in-person draft, it's on your on the laptops. Some people draft on their phones on the laptop, which is or on their phones instead of on their laptop, which is pretty funny. What's up, Dad? Yeah. Oh man. All right, two people left, one person left. College Discord with a page individually for people in the league. Everyone is invited. We have filthy player nickname gallery. Yeah, make sure you guys join the Discord as well. There are people in the Discord all the time talking, and the more people we get, the better. The more people we get in there, the better. I need to do a better job at checking the Discord as well, because I've also been gone on my bachelor party, so I wasn't checking Discord at all. I was locked in, dialed in. We got the fifth pick here. The fifth pick to me feels like either Jefferson, St. Brown, Bijan, or Brees Hall. Now, to me, like AJ Brown, Puka, Garrett Wilson, Gibbs, anyone past that to me would be just like a pretty egregious reach. Very egregious reach, I think. Yeah, so I think assuming that it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 this way, it's going to be a debate between Jefferson, St. Brown, Bijan, and Brees Hall. Oh, it was Caitlin's idea. Very nice, very nice. I'm finishing up my shift, listening while I drive. Drive safe, Marcus. Appreciate that. All right, 3 picks away. McCaffrey goes 101. Not that crazy, right? I don't think anyone sitting there thinking, "Wow, what a crazy pick." Now people are going to talk about the Madden curse, that the Madden curse is going to kick down the door on McCaffrey. I don't personally think so. Now, I've been a McCaffrey guy for a long time, even when he was a rookie on the Panthers. So I'm going to continue to be a McCaffrey stan. I think he's clearly worth the number one. The number two is a debate between Hill and Lamb. I am I'm going Hill. So it got you in there as two different teams, Josh. Write your team names down, and then maybe Spock can remove one of the teams, or you can delete one of your teams because you should only obviously have one team. All right. So McCaffrey, Hill, Lamb, Jamar Chase. To me, it's between either the running backs or the receivers, but I know how these drafts go. And if I don't go wide receiver here, I'm going to get buried by the running back. So we are going to go with Justin Jefferson. Now it is basically a coin flip for me between Jefferson and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Right now, I'd probably lean more towards Amon-Ra St. Brown in these drafts, but I've done a bunch of these and I already have a lot of Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I don't have any Justin Jefferson yet. So that was kind of the coin flip there for me. And again, by the time things swing back around, there's a possibility that I can get Saquon Barkley in the second round, a running back that I think could easily be the running back one. So to me, it's kind of like a no-brainer to just snag Jefferson there. But Jefferson, to me, probably a little bit more risky compared to Amon-Ra St. Brown because of the quarterback situation. Yeah. So Jefferson, St. Brown, AJ Brown, then St. Brown. I think AJ Brown at the 6 picks a little egregiously high. Bijan, Brees, Puka, Garrett Wilson. Now, again, I have continued to be someone that's kind of not really all aboard the AJ Brown bandwagon. Not because I think he's a bad player, not because I think Jalen Hurts is a bad player, but because I feel like if we end up seeing Devontae Smith get a little bit more involved this year at ADP, like AJ Brown could easily end up being a bust. Puka, Garrett Wilson, Drake London. Again, do I think he's a bad pick at the early second, the end of the first? I guess not. But at like the 6th pick, I think that's a little too high. A little too high. Drake London, Nico Collins. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now it's not crazy that like Drake London could easily finish top 12. Nico Collins could easily finish as a top 12 receiver. But when Gibbs is on the board, when Marvin Harrison's on the board, when Jonathan Taylor's on the board, Ayuk, Saquon, like, to me, that's just crazy. Like, I think this is a crazy pick as well. Jalen Waddle over Marvin Harrison. I love Jalen Waddle. I'm a Dolphins fan. I've been talking up Jalen Waddle all offseason, and I will continue to do that. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be the number one target on the Cardinals. Jalen Waddle will not be the number one target on the Dolphins. Marvin Harrison could catch a gazillion balls this year. The Cardinals could really exceed expectations. I love Marvin Harrison this year. I have never felt so confident in a player. So now the question here is Jonathan Taylor or Saquon. My rankings would say Saquon, but but I haven't really taken Jonathan Taylor at all, so I'm going to lean with Jonathan Taylor here. I think Jonathan Taylor's in for a huge bounce back year. I understand that he got hurt entering there's a lot of weird situations going on last year. Anthony Richardson gets hurt. I really think if Anthony Richardson is as good as we think he could be, if he's able to stay healthy, it's going to be very hard to stop the rushing attack of Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor. I do think Saquon is significantly more safe. I have Saquon ranked higher. But again, when you're doing a bunch of drafts like this, I think it's kind of stupid to just dig my hole and, hey, I think Saquon Barkley is better than Jonathan Taylor, right? Because even if I think that, and I'm going to do 30 or 40 of these drafts, if I draft Saquon Barkley 30 or 40 of those times, if Saquon Barkley is a bust, if he gets hurt, if it doesn't end up working out, I'm going to feel stupid because I could have just drafted Jonathan Taylor. I could have just drafted Brandon Ayuk, right? So that's just how I think of it. So we went ahead and leaned with Jonathan Taylor there. After that, Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Smith. So nothing really all that crazy. Again, these underdog drafts are very wide receiver heavy. Your home league is not going to look like this, right? Saquon Barkley is not going to potentially fall to the third fucking round of your home league unless you're drafting with a bunch of people that are just anti running back, which even me, myself, who is more of an anti running back player, someone who wants to draft wide receivers early, you to me have to be crazy. You'd have to be crazy to draft Kyron over Saquon Barkley. You have to be crazy to draft Devontae Smith over Saquon Barkley. That's just how I think. One spot left. Make sure you guys join. Second round pick is a black hole this year. It really is, Dylan. It really is. Like, there's going to be so many of these second round picks that end up as busts. There's going to be a couple of these guys that end up being league winners, right? Like, Devontae Adams is a guy that I have not been really drafting at all, but I could see him having a big year. But I could also see him just being kind of mid. So that's why I haven't really been taking him. All right, we're back up here. 28 seconds. Again, based on how these drafts go, there's going to be a lot of running backs I like later, so I don't want to bury myself here by drafting Derrick Henry. So we're going to go DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore is the best receiver out of these guys available. I still think DJ Moore is the number one receiver in Chicago, and I feel as though the Chicago Bears offense is going to jump to the next level under Caleb Williams. Now, maybe they don't start off as on fire, right? Maybe they start off a little bit slower because Caleb Williams is a rookie. But I think when push comes to shove, DJ Moore being the wide receiver one in Chicago is going to pay big dividends. I think that Caleb's a huge upgrade over Fields and Tyson Bagent, and we saw DJ Moore dominate last year with Fields and Bagent under center. So after Moore, Metcalf, Diggs, Dell. Nothing all that crazy. Both Houston receivers going back to back. Michael Jordan, 96, 97. So look at our team right now. We're probably looking at trying to set up either a Vikings or Bears stack, preferably Bears, because while I do think Justin Jefferson is going to have a great year, regardless of who the quarterback is, right, with the Vikings, it could very well be 6 games of Darnold, 7, 8 games of Darnold, 10 games of Darnold, 16 games of Darnold, right? It could be. It could also be 16 games of McCarthy, half McCarthy. Who fucking knows, right? So while I think the better pick would be JJ McCarthy, I'm not too ultra set on that, right? I'm just not. Whereas the Bears, I know Caleb's going to be starting the whole time. So I want to stack Caleb with Roma Dunze, Keenan Allen, all those guys. Now, I don't like Keenan Allen to redraft this year because I think by about halfway into the season, Keenan Allen is going to get overtook on the 2 wide receiver sets. I think they're going to be playing Roma Dunze in the 2 wide receiver sets. But what I will tell you is in a best ball scenario, I don't think that's going to matter as much than it would in your home league, where in your home league, right, every single week you have to set your lineup, right? And if Keenan Allen is shit in the bed because he's not in the two wide receiver sets, if he's not getting as involved, it's going to hurt you a lot. Whereas here in best ball, if he has a couple bad games, then he has a boom game, it's fine. It's fine. Again, in a vacuum, wide receivers going around Keenan Allen. I like Christian Kirk more. I like Terry McLaurin more. I like Jada Reed more. I like Calvin Ridley more. I like Godwin more. I like Higgins more. But at the end of the day, you don't really get like in this, you have to stack to win. Like you really do. You 100% have to stack to win. So to me, that's just kind of the sword you have to fall onto. DJ Moore's a dog. I agree. I don't really like Metcalf, to be honest with you, but I don't think it's crazy to like Metcalf. I just don't love him. I can't wait to see what Bijan does with a real coach. I agree. I mean, Bijan's coach last year was a dumbass, and his coach already came out and said that they want to just feed the rock to Bijan. I like Marvin Harrison as well. I get that you're hesitant at the ADP. It's obviously a high ADP, but again, like when's the last time we've seen a wide receiver come out with the pedigree of Marvin Harrison Jr.? Like his tape is insane. The guy's always open. He's fast. I mean, if Kyler just throws on the ball a million times, it's gonna be great. Oh my god. Sorry about that. I don't know. I just had a coughing fit. I'm dying, guys. I'm dying out here. I want Christian Kirk though. All right, let my voice fix itself. I don't know what the heck just happened. That was crazy. So I went with Christian Kirk because I think Keenan Allen will come back to me. I like T. Higgins, but I think T. Higgins is more of the safe bet. Whereas I think Kirk could pay off in a big way. Like I think Higgins could be a pretty reliable top oh, Jesus. Top 18 guy. Whereas I think Kirk could be a top 12, top 10 league winner type. Sorry about coughing. I don't know what's wrong with me. So that's kind of what shifted my idea there. Plus, again, the running backs fall heavily. So I don't feel like I need to push myself into drafting a running back in the spot. Because I know in the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, there's going to be a shit ton of running backs. Whereas in your at home league, you might have to push the running back button earlier. Hopefully we get Keenan, though. Hopefully we get Keenan. I like Komet. I don't really like Komet this year. Just because there's so many guys there. Big season for Pitts, 100%. I agree with that, Danny. I agree with that. Oh man, I don't know why am I. Where do you target Pacheco this year? Probably in a real league, like a regular draft, the second or third round. But in like a best ball draft, you can get him on Underdog in like the fourth or the fifth round. But again, that's because the landscape is so much different. Oh man, a lot of tight ends coming off. Very, very interesting. Right? Because we see Laporta and Kelsey come off in the third and the fourth. Now in the fifth, McBride, Andrews, Pitts, and Kincaid. Interesting. Man, oh man. I also haven't been talking recently a lot, and I think that's why my throat is acting up. You hate to see it. Oh man. But we did get Keenan Allen, which is huge. Huge for the stack. The question is, will we be able to get Roma Dunze? And if we get Roma Dunze, if for some reason someone takes Caleb Williams, I'm gonna have to break my computer screen. But I don't think we necessarily need Roma Dunze because we already have 2 Bears. I guess it wouldn't hurt to get him, but we might also want to go running back here or go with a different wide receiver. Because while I mentioned I didn't love Komet, Komet would be a part of the stack, and he goes to pick 144, so a much bigger discount. Who could be in our lineup multiple different weeks. So pretty interesting. For me, it's definitely London. I like London a lot. Chris Olave, to me, feels like a great player in a situation that is very suspect with Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is a decent quarterback, but Derek Carr and Chris Olave had zero connection last season. Zero. They were not on the same page, and it was never really working out. Now, Olave is so good that I guess it doesn't matter if the connection isn't the best, but it mattered last year. It really hurt Olave's consistency. I think once the Saints get a real quarterback, Olave is going to be like a top 8 fantasy pick. But I think in the situation they're in right now, Olave is going to struggle. It's kind of like Drake London they had before they had Kirk Cousins. Like a great player, but a shitty situation. And we're gonna go ahead and snag Joe Mixon here. Joe Mixon is just so good. Such a good value in Houston, too. Like the Texans are going to be scoring a shit ton of points, and you can get him in the 6th round here. Now, in your at-home league, he's not going to go in the 6th round. He's going to go in like the 3rd or 4th round. But even there, I'm fine with that. I love Joe Mixon, man. Love it. I think we see Rattler play this season. That's not even that crazy. That's not crazy to say. I've seen some pretty positive things about Rattler early. Now, again, it's so early that I don't think we need to take crazy consideration into that. But it's also doesn't mean nothing, right? Like, if Rattler is legitimately decent enough to where the team considers playing him because fucking Carr is so bad, like it is possible. 3rd year in fantasy, 10 team redraft league. Finished in dead last, even with the highest point total overall. Who should I take first overall? Tyreek, Lamb, someone else? I agree with Spock, McCaffrey. But let me tell you, finishing in dead last with the highest amount of points is one of the worst feelings ever. I have missed the playoffs so many times with the most or second most points. Fantasy is so annoying. So annoying. But yeah, I would take McCaffrey. What's up? What's up, Agu Rhythm? How you doing, man? What's up? What's up? Dude, I was at my bachelor party. We went to a midget wrestling thing, which is literally hilarious. And the uh the guy was a Mexican midget who was the MC, and he made a joke about how what do you call a small essay? And he said you call him a paragraph, and I thought that was hilarious. Maybe you guys won't think that was funny, but I thought that was hilarious. All right. All right. All right. We're gonna go running back here, even though the wide receivers are probably the better value. And we're gonna go with the most upside, and we're gonna go with Alvin Kamara because Derek Carr is just a check down merchant. Check down merchant, man. I thought that was very funny, by the way. Maybe it was just because I was super drunk watching a bunch of midgets wrestle, but it was awesome. All right. Keon Coleman. Yeah, so as you guys can see here, once you get to like the 7th round of these underdog drafts, it is just dude, it was called midget wrestling. Okay? So I'm not using the incorrect term. That's what they called it. They called themselves midgets. Okay? So I'm not saying anything wrong here. That's what they were calling themselves. So I do think the correct term is technically dwarf though. I'm not hungover anymore. I just feel like death, dude. I don't know what the fuck happens in Las Vegas, if it's the air or something. I think it's the air. Dude, in Vegas, it was like 115 degrees and you would go inside to the air conditioning and it would be so cold and then you go outside, it's so hot. And I don't know. I was like dehydrated the whole time, even though I was drinking like at least 10 water bottles a day. It was insane. What's crazy to me is people live there. There are people that want to live there. They want to live there, which is insane. So hot, dude. Damn, that's tough, Alex. Hair of the dog, dude. Yeah, dude, you gotta eat the worm, dude. I'm just dying out here. But I'll be fine. Don't worry. Don't worry about me. By the way, guys, this draft is going great. This draft is going swimmingly. Now the question is, when will Caleb Williams go? Do I need to draft him early? I don't know. I don't know because I don't want to miss out on him, but I also don't want to pull the trigger this early. The wide receivers in this range are so suspect. So suspect. I'm hoping we can get Jake Ferguson. If we can't, we might just go for a quick little 4th running back and then just not draft a single running back again. Just go say, fuck it. We got our 4 running backs and then just spam receiver, which could work out pretty well. Which also might not work out at all. Who knows? But we could try. We could try. Oh, never mind. We ended up getting Jake Ferguson. So the reason why I like Jake Ferguson a lot this year is because they don't have anyone to throw the ball to outside of CeeDee Lamb. Brandon Cooks is still there, but he looked mid last year. Dak is going to be, I think, playing pretty similar to how he played last year. Jake Ferguson is a very good red zone threat. Cowboys are going to be scoring a lot. I think they're going to be more effective in the red zone with Zeke compared to Pollard, who can't hit a hole to save his life. So I like Jake Ferguson a ton. He is the last tight end, in my opinion, that you can take before things get incredibly suspect. Like Ferguson is good. I mean, not Ferguson. Njoku is really good, but he sucked with Watson under center. He only played good with Joe Flacco. Goddard is fine, but like, what's the upside in Goddard? Schultz. Now they have Diggs. So where's the real upside, right? And now they have Mixon, Fryermuth. I mean, they have fucking Russell Wilson. Like the only guy I like super late is Hawkinson, and Hawkinson might miss the first 4 or 5 games, right? So who's really so sold on Hawkinson? Me, but he could easily just suck. Because you can't play him. I'm really dying out here, guys. Thank you for hitting like. I appreciate that. Oh shit, we're up. Let's get Caleb. Let's get him before he comes off the board. Before someone steals him from me. Because that's what would happen, right? We would not take him. Then he gets stolen. Oh my god. Alright, let's look at the schedule. Alright, so the Bears play Detroit and Seattle. Week 16 and 17. Alright, Purdy just came off the board. Which means we definitely would have gotten sniped. What's up, Zach? I agree with you, Jonathan. I fully agree on that. All right, so we got the Bears. Now we need a Lion. Lions. For that Week 17 game. Will it pay off, though? Probably not, right? Because these Lions suck. But I feel like you kind of need the stack to win. Actually, I lied. It's Seattle. It's Seattle Week 17. It's Seattle. Oh, shit, I'm up. Oh, shit, I'm up. We got to make a pick. We got 8 seconds. Let's go, Jacoby. Let's go, Jacoby. Seahawks. I like Noah Fant as well. I think the fact that there's less competition in the tight end room is huge for Noah Fant. I agree. He is a great super late dart throw. He's very talented. He just has never worked out in the NFL. Like, I mean, he's been fine, right? But he's never really lived up to the expectation. That's the problem with Fant. And yeah, Spock is right, dude. Every year, you could easily talk yourself into Fant because he looks great on the performance metrics. He looked great on, I think, before the NFL draft, the combine metrics were great on him. There was a lot of great tape coming into the NFL, but he just never really played up to it. And then going from Denver to Seattle, it seems like, okay, maybe the change of scenery will do it. And then he had never got enough playing time. Right? And now they get rid of fucking Pete Carroll. So maybe now things are going to work, right? So hopefully this works. Yeah, the new coaching regime should work. Oh, really? That's so cool. All right, so we're back up again. Shit. Should we go running back or receiver? I like our running backs. So I don't think we need a receiver. So I don't think we need a running back. Let's go with Wicks. I really want to keep drafting pieces of the Packers. Packers are a team that I think might end up being one of the better teams in the NFL this year, if not the best. So I want pieces of the best offenses, especially in best ball. 100%. 100%. Pete Carroll also loves using 8,000 different tight ends. Like some random guy you've never heard of will be getting snaps over like Noah Fant. Some bum. Trying to think of the last great tight end in Seattle. Was that like Jimmy Graham 30 years ago, right? Like they never use just one tight end. They never use a tight end correctly. It's weird. Very weird. Super weird. Hopefully this year is different though. Without Pete. Without Uncle Pete. Now, we are going to need another quarterback. And we don't really have any quarterbacks that are stackable with our players unless we can get Trevor Lawrence. But I think that is more of a pipe dream. I think that's more of a pipe dream. And someone took him, so we're not going to get him. All right. So we could go. McCarthy by 6. I think that might be the play. Go for a McCarthy, Caleb Williams squad, and then hope McCarthy is fine, even though I think it's risky. Um, Again, I don't think we really need running backs here. So I think receivers the play or tight end here. Low key, let's get Cole Kmet for the stack. And we're going to need a third tight end probably because they both have by 7, which is fine though because we wanted the stack with Caleb. We wanted the stack. I agree. I like Wicks a lot this year. In best ball and redraft, I think he's kind of in such a crowded scenario where it would just be dumb to draft him in redraft. But in best ball, it makes a lot of sense. To me, I think he's the third best receiver on the team behind. Let me just pull up all their names. I'll read them off. So to me, Reed is 1, then Watson, and then I think it's a debate between Dobbs and Wicks. But I think Wicks will see more targets. I mean, Dobbs looked good last year, so I'm not saying he's a bum. He did have that great game in the playoffs, but I don't think that determines everything. Like Wicks looked pretty good last year, so I'm not gonna write Wicks off. Yeah, and Spock is correct. Watson, if Watson stays healthy, then yeah, it could really ice him out. But Watson continues to get hurt all the time. So this might be a 3 quarterback, 3 tight end team, which is weird, but it's different. It's different. I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. I'm starting to really like Darnell Mooney. Not that I think Darnell Mooney's the greatest of players, but because I love this Falcons situation, and I think that if Kirk Cousins is solid, that Darnell Mooney could pay off big time. I do think Troy Franklin could emerge. Troy Franklin also played in college with Bo Nix, which could be really solid. Again, if I had to guess, though, Sutton's going to be the number 1 receiver, right? Sutton looked really solid last year in a terrible situation. And I think in the correct situation, Sutton could be like a top 12 receiver. Sutton's another one of those guys like Noah Fant that has all of the talent, but it never really has shown, right? Like to me, let's see, Sutton. I wish it would show you all of his stats, right? But he's never really gotten the yards with the touchdowns, right? Like last year, for instance, he gets 772 yards only, but scores 10 touchdowns, right? So if he could get 1,000+ yards and 7, 8 touchdowns, like it could really pay off. Caleb has been personnel if he can throw at an NFL level. I agree. You think Sutton gets traded? Possible, because they still haven't reached a contract. They still have not reached that contract, which is kind of suspect because it's July. But from what I've read, it seems like it will. They will reach the contract, so I'm not going to panic yet. But I mean, realistically, there's reason to at least worry slightly, right? And then if we get in August and there's still no contract, there's reason to panic even more. I mean, as a Dolphins fan, I'm starting to already panic that Tua's not going to get his contract, and that's worrying me. Cortland Sutton, Spock. You don't like Cortland Sutton? How rude. Why do running backs go so late in this draft? Because it's best ball and people are scared to draft running backs. That's why. Because they won't go this late in your home league. I'll tell you that much. All right, let's go Chuba Hubbard on this team. I love the other running back on the Panthers, whose name is escaping me, Jonathan Brooks. Love him. But would I be surprised if Chuba was the running back one and stayed the running back one? No. Like, Chuba Hubbard is good. We saw it last year. And Jonathan Brooks coming off of a pretty serious injury. Again, I like Brooks' talent way better than Hubbard. But if something was to happen to Brooks, or if Hubbard starts as the running back one and just kind of fends him off, like I think Hubbard's worth the late round shot. That's just my kind of thought on things. Plus, we already have such good running backs that I don't feel like we need to really take like a huge risk. I think that's a pretty safe pick with some upside. People are going to talk up Ray Davis, dude, but James Cook clearly is the running back one. And while James Cook has been allergic of the end zone, that's just because Josh Allen's been stealing the touchdowns from him. I think the Raiders can trade Javante now too. Yeah, or Devontae. Yeah, that is possible. That is possible. Fucking Fant goes right before us. Bastard. All right, we could low key go Daniel Jones as well. Daniel Jones, and then Slayton or something. But we don't need to do that now. Let's go receiver. Let's go to Marcus. DeMarcus was pretty solid last year for the Rams. Had multiple top 32 games, and they didn't really do anything that would tell you that he wasn't going to get any more targets. So that's a solid pick. So we have 3 picks left, and we probably will just go maybe an unstacked Daniel Jones, just hoping for the rushing upside, and then go JJ McCarthy into tight end. Because this is a team that I don't think needs 5 running backs because we're just hoping JT, Mixon, and Kamara can carry us. And then we need more quarterbacks because we have Caleb, who's a rookie. Our other quarterback, hopefully being JJ McCarthy, might miss the first couple of games this season because he's a rookie. And they might want to play Sam Darnold. So hopefully in future drafts, I don't feel as sick. So I'm not fucking coughing the whole time. But I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button on today's stream. I'm going to be doing more of these. Don't worry. Because there were so many people requesting these. Like, Nick, you got to do best ball. The redraft mock drafts aren't helpful, even though they clearly are because these drafts, like, while I love doing them, this is not a good representation of what your home league's gonna play. Right? In one home league, do 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, only 9 running backs go in the first 3 rounds. Even the more non-running back drafts do it. You're right, Caleb. What's up, Caleb? How you doing, man? How we doing? How we doing? All right, let's go tight end. By 7 for all of our guys. Let's go. Let's go Chig. I think maybe the Titans offense will be more pass heavy this year. I think they will under the new head coach. No Derrick Henry. I like Ben Sinnott, but let's be honest with you. Like Ben Sinnott might not even get used really at all in his rookie year. This is a guy that people are talking about could be used as a fullback. Now, again, do I think the Commanders pay that draft price for a fullback in the Lord's year of 2024? No, but I think it's possible, right? And even around 16, like, even though he's my 3rd tight end, like, that still feels kind of risky. So, to me, I think the best bet was just going for the guy with similar upside, safer projection, which is Chig. And again, I don't think Chig's ever really going to crack our lineup, but I think taking a 0 at tight end in week 7 would be kind of stupid. Plus, tight end is so finicky. Like, Chig could crack our lineup 4 or 5 times this season because the tight end position is so weird. All right, so we're going to hopefully get Daniel Jones and hope that Daniel Jones rushes for like 15 touchdowns this year, even though we know it's not going to happen, right? Just has some crazy rushing season and just pays off, which he definitely won't, but a boy can dream. That's what you got to tell yourself when you're doing these best ball drafts. Just literally painting a picture, Bob Ross style, of how everything goes right, how this team works out, right? Is that Taylor, Mixon, and Kamara carry us, right? They get a million rushing touchdowns. Kamara catches a million passes, and they carry us every week, right? And then Jefferson, Moore, and Christian Kirk carry the wide receiver core, and you just hope some of the other guys get in as the flex or as the wide receiver 3. And then you just hope that Jake Ferguson has an elite year. That's how this team pays off. It doesn't pay off necessarily by crazy quarterback play. The other positions carry. Someone took Daniel fucking Jones. God dang it. God dang it, bro. You really hate to see it. So now we're really about to draft JJ McCarthy. That hurts. That hurts so bad, man. And then we might just draft Derek Carr and hope every touchdown he throws is a check down. Hope every single touchdown he throws is a check down to Alvin Kamara. And then maybe, just maybe, it works. Getting sniped on Daniel Jones really is going to hurt us. Titans definitely built for a more pass heavy passing attack. I agree. I agree. I mean, the problem is normally I wouldn't force myself to take a 3rd quarterback, but taking 2 rookie quarterbacks where one of them might not even play for the start of the season, like, I think we just need someone else. So on paper, this team looks kind of gross, but I think if we could just get some solid quarterback play, it could work. So I think the play here now is Gardner Minshew because we have Jacoby Myers. But this hurts, man. We just got sniped on everything. So I guess we're going with Gardner Minshew. What a fun thing, dude. Everyone getting sniped from us. How fun. How fun, dude. How extravagant. Man, Tyler Boyd on the Titans feels so strange. A couple years ago, Boyd was like the best receiver on the Bengals and was looking promising to be like a legit player. And then he was the wide receiver 3 on the Bengals, and now he is on the Titans. How sad, man. I love Tyler Boyd. Elijah Moore. Nah, Caleb, I haven't really talked about any of that stuff. I just feel sick, I think. I don't think I'm actually sick, but my throat is just fucked up from the weather in Vegas. The weather is so hot and it messes up your throat. Pause. Oh my. All right, we got one pick left and then we're skedaddling. We're getting right out of here. Because again, if my throat wasn't somewhat messed up, check down Merchant Car, baby. If my throat wasn't messed up, I just keep staying here talking. But it is, and I'm going to try to record later. So I don't want my throat to be absolutely destroyed. So let's go Gardner Minshew and hope that he feeds the rock to Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers is someone that I didn't really like early on, but I kind of get it now. Like, he had some solid games with the Raiders. It's just like, I think the Raiders are going to run the shit out of the ball. Like, I don't really see them becoming some pass heavy team. Like, I think their goal is just to hand the ball off to Zamir White a million times and then use the other running backs as well. I understand they drafted Brock Bowers, but I don't think their future quarterback is Minshew. So I think their goal is building for the future, and the future probably doesn't involve Devontae Adams or Gardner Minshew. The future is probably Brock Bowers, Zamir White, and some other quarterback. So I'm not really the highest on Brock Bowers this year. No, I didn't fall asleep with my mouth open. Pause. I just I don't know what it was. I think it was just like that. It was just so it's just so hot out there. Every single one of my friends was sniffling, and we didn't even do that much coke, so I don't know. I don't know why it's so messed up. That was a joke to anyone watching at home, but yeah, I don't know. Everyone's just all messed up, man. All right, so that team was drafted today, 7-12, 7-2. Don't know how to read. 3-4-8-3. Chicago, Minnesota, Las Vegas. So our team was comprised of Caleb Williams, J.J. McCarthy, Gardner Minshew. Running backs, Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Chuba Hubbard. Our receivers are Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk, Keenan Allen, Jacoby Myers, Dontavian Wicks, Darnell Mooney, Demarcus Robinson, Jake Ferguson, Cole Kmet, and Chig as our tight ends. So thank you guys all so much for watching today's stream. I appreciate you guys a ton. There'll be a video tomorrow, and there'll be more live streams coming up. Sorry that this was a shorter stream. Normally with these draft streams, I'll probably try to do 2 drafts in one stream, but today, again, I'm kind of just out of it. So I appreciate you guys watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Adios, mis amigos.